If you watched any of our previous videos, one thing you'll know is that if we find a place that has tombs or graves of prophets, we'll normally try to be the first ones there. The place that we're visiting today is known as Egil, and it's located around 45 minutes from the city of Diyarbakir. But it's not just an ordinary place. This place is supposedly home to around 7 graves of prophets, including Prophet Yunus alayhi salam, Prophet Harun alayhi salam, and even Prophet Dhul Kifl. Now, I know what you're thinking. These prophets may have been buried elsewhere, or you might have heard that these prophets are buried elsewhere. Now, one thing I should add as a disclaimer is that it's always best to do your own research and find out where these prophets are buried. This is simply a record of our journey and our travel experiences to this part of Turkey and what we found there. According to the Turkish and Kurdish locals, this place holds a huge amount of significance to them. And so it's important that when visiting certain places which holds importance to the locals, that visitors and foreigners and tourists also give it that same due respect. So join us on this journey as we head towards the village of Egil and experience something quite surreal and quite different from other places that we've visited around this journey. Just look at all those white houses. Before this area, Egil used to actually have houses that were all different colours. But in an effort to boost tourism, they painted all the houses white. It looks very uniform, but at the same time it looks pretty attractive. And we're gonna go all the way up this road here, all the way around, and reach the small village, I think it is, on the banks of the river Tigris, I think it is. And that's where the graves and the tombs are scattered. So let's go. But I thought I'll quickly show you this really splendid view of all these white houses. Just had to stop here again because there's really nice views from here as you get closer of all the white houses. Let's head back to the car, and my next stop is definitely going to be where all the tombs and graves are. We've just stopped again because I've just realised there's some ruins over there, and just down there you've got the Tigris river, and there's some steps going all the way down, so we're gonna hopefully make our way down there as well, see if we can get there. And we're welcomed by this sign which you'll find all over Turkey with different names of cities and towns and provinces. And just behind this area, this gate is a mosque, and that's where all the tombs are supposed to be. So as soon as you enter the courtyard of the mosque, there's a complete change of atmosphere. The entire complex is surrounded by greenery, trees, plants, and wooden fences, and it sits right on top of the Tigris River with spectacular views from the balcony of the mosque. As you walk down this canopy, you'll realize to your left and your right the grass which lays across the land here, which locals use to relax and have picnics. And right at the end, you'll find the Ilyasa Jami, and within the masjid, that's where we found the tombs of Prophet Ilyas and Prophet Dhul Kifl alayhi salam. When you visit places like this, it can be quite hard to articulate your experiences on the spot. With people behind me reciting the Quran and reciting certain du'as and making prayers themselves, it was quite hard to put myself in a position to be able to say anything whilst I was behind the camera. After taking some footage of the tombs, I decided to sit down with the locals and join them as they recite the Quran and make some prayers. So we just came out of there, and it was a surreal experience really, knowing that this could be the place where the Prophet Dhul Kifl and Ilyas are buried. I know there's another possible location in Turkey for Ilyas alayhi salam, but it is very surreal, and I've mentioned this before in my videos, but whenever you come to places like this, it's extremely peaceful, and it's beautiful as well. The way they've constructed this area, the way there's so much greenery, it's always splendid weather, everything about it is just so beautiful and peaceful. So I know there's probably another grave around here of another prophet, so we're going to go and try to find this. I think there's one or two more. These views from up here are really breathtaking, and this is all within the area where the tombs of the prophets are. So we saw the tomb of the Prophet Harun alayhi salam, the tomb of Prophet Ilyas, and the tomb of Prophet Dhul Kifl. And here we have the really breathtaking river Tigris flowing all the way across, and this actually goes through, I think, Syria, parts of Syria as well. And then you have some graves up there as well, and I think that might be graves of the locals really. But this place looks very well kept, very well preserved. And this is the courtyard of the mosque. I thought I'd quickly show you that as well. So you've got a mix of materials here, wood and tiles, and then behind that there'll be bricks, maybe limestone. I'm not sure if the mosque is actually open right now, but we can give it a try. Yes, it is. So like all the mosques in Turkey, very simple, modern, minimalistic and clean architecture. And I love how they've used wood at the bottom. And then you have the mihrab just there, and where the imam stands for Jum'ah. And they've kept it very nice and simple, just a white painting. So we're gonna now make our way to the tomb and the graves of Yunus alayhi salam, which is located elsewhere, not within this compound. So we're gonna drive there. It's about a 7-minute drive. Excuse me, Mr. Cat. Can you please show me the way? Oh, excuse me, Cat. Can you please show me the way to the tomb of Yunus alayhi salam? So I mentioned before that we were going to a place called Egil to see the tombs of the prophets, but it seems like we didn't actually go into Egil itself. So the tomb and grave of Yunus alayhi salam, and another tomb, I forgot the name of the prophet, is going down this way, and yeah, we're going to turn right, and I think it's going to take us all the way around there into that village over there. So yeah, let's go right into Egil. I think that's how you pronounce it, or Egil. So the drive up here is quite crazy. I've just left behind some really uphill roads, and I think the tombs that we're looking for are just here. So I'm going to park up somewhere around here. So I've just parked the car up, and it seems like we've come to the place that I was showing you in the beginning part of the video. All these houses painted in white, and there's a graveyard here, cemetery, and I think this one is more for the locals. They've got two mosques over there which are very close to one another. I'm sure they serve some kind of purpose. So we just found out that the tomb of Dhunnun, the prophet's name is Dhunnun, his tomb is on the left here. So yeah, I mean, those graves are some of them from the 1800s, 1932, 1950. So yeah, actually there's one from 1600s as well. Yeah, thank you, shukran. So we were just told that the tombs are actually inside here. So I'm gonna see if we can go inside. So we're just told by one of the locals that it's further down here somewhere. Tashakul. So he just told us it's in here. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. So here we have the tomb of Hazrat Yunus alayhi salam, and just look at how the length of that. Protected with these walls, and there's a couple of trees, quite a few trees here, giving it shade at different times of the day. So the story of Yunus alayhi salam is very famous, that he was sent to people in a place called Nineveh, and he preached to them, and obviously, as was the case with many other prophets, they didn't listen to him, and out of frustration he left them. Unlike other prophets, he left them, and he went out to the sea, and he joined a few sailors on a boat. So they were on the boat and the weather got a bit bad. The boat was capsizing and they had to draw lots to figure out who they could chuck out of the boat, because obviously the boat was drowning and they needed to make sure that they could balance the weight out in this bad weather and this thunder, or whatever the weather was like at the time. And then the name of Yunus alayhi salam kept coming up whenever they were drawing lots, and he agreed to it, and he kind of flung himself in the water, and he was, by Allah's command, a whale swallowed him, and this whale kept him safe in his stomach. And at that point Yunus alayhi salam basically prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he said in the Quran, he said, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. You know, I am from the wrongdoers. And it's a dua that we've been told to read when we've done wrong, we've engaged in some kind of disobedience. And the Nun being a prophet, Yunus alayhi salam, nevertheless still he made this prayer, and he was let out from the whale, and at that point he went back to his people and he realized he should carry on his mission despite the rejection that he gets from them. So he was also known as, Yunus alayhi salam was also known as the Nun, and that basically means the man of the whale. So how fortunate are the people of the deceased of this graveyard to be buried right near the Prophet Yunus alayhi salam. It's supposed, it's believed to be, but if it is true, then it's a huge honor to be buried next to one of the greatest prophets that had ever lived on the face of this earth. So we're gonna head off now. I hope you've enjoyed the video, hope you've learned something new, and even if you haven't learned something new, I hope you enjoyed just watching the video and seeing this place. Diyarbakir, southeast region of Turkey, is absolutely filled with Islamic history, and I've barely scratched the surface. So if you ever do come to Turkey, consider the southeast region. It is 100% safe. I feel like it's safer than London, and they treat tourists really well, and you know, you won't regret it. Istanbul's really good. The coastline is really good. The interesting places. However, when it comes to history, heritage, this entire region is like an open air museum. So hope you've enjoyed the video again, and do like, subscribe and comment, and yeah, stay tuned for the next video. All these chickens here. Thank you for showing us. Thank you.
Children is show.
They will show me. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. Rahatsın mı?
Buyurun şöyle geç.